Puppy Love Playdates is a locally owned and operated doggy daycare that is like no other. The space here is so warm and inviting, your pup is sure to feel right at home. We're really excited to meet Leslie, the super dog mom who fills in for you, and she really holds all the treats. Well, thank you, Leslie, so much for having us here today. You have such a great business, and we're excited to hear more about it. So do you want to tell us what your business is and how you got started?
Okay, the business is Puppy Love Playdates, and it is a doggy daycare. And what makes us different is that there's no kenneling, there's no crating, they don't have to be separated for eating and like a traditional sort of daycare order. They're not put into different groups based on size. With the 40-pound limit, it allows me to manage the dogs relatively easily, even if there's a variance in size, like we have a 7-pound dog out there today along with a 32-pound dog. And the difference is with the sizes, it's much easier to physically manage them, but also get them to kind of pair up and play with similar dogs, either of temperament or size, but basically they do the choosing. I don't do that for them. So, yeah.
Nice. I'm sure for safety, it makes a big difference to have just kind of all the same, we're on the same level.
Yeah.
Such a unique concept. How did you get the idea for doing this?
Well, that actually comes from my own experience, and it's really driven by, first of all, I love dogs, but what became very difficult for me was leaving my own 2 dogs at home, and I would have to like make sure I didn't look towards the house to see their faces saying, hey. And then feeling like when I had my lunchtime, I had to race home to let them out, give them a treat, get back, and it was always like, I felt like I only had like 10 minutes with them when all was said and done, because I had to get back. So that part was very stressful, and from my experiences of them attending other places where they were great, but I was sort of capturing in my own mind, well, if I had a place, I would. And so really Puppy Love has been developing in my head for a really long time, and it just seemed like when I saw this physical place, I felt like this is where it could feel like a home for dogs, and we could make it more like a house and more comfortable, and so.
And you do get that feeling right when you walk in the space here. So can you tell us what a typical day would look like here for a puppy or a dog?
Yeah, sure. So what's nice is it's flexible in that you can decide to come, say you have to run an errand and it's going to be 2 hours, so your dog can come for 2 hours. Then there's a half day, which is very popular. It's a 4 hours, but you choose those 4 hours, so it doesn't have to be at the start or the end, so wherever that falls for your day. And then the full day. And we open at 7:30, and last pickup is at 6 o'clock. Very rarely do I actually have people who are here at 7:30 or at 6, which is kind of nice, because I'm always thinking, who wants to be that last dog, So then when the dogs are here, physically I can manage the space inside, so I can either partition it off so that some dogs that are the more active dogs can be in the bigger room out here, and some that just want to relax because they've been outside playing, or can be in the smaller room out back here where it's like a lounge, lots of beds, soft. And I can either choose to use the gates so that they can't go through, or just open it up, and then, which is often how it is, and they just choose.
I know you have something really unique here. Tell us a little bit more about your Canine Cafe.
Okay, so the Canine Cafe is a place in the back here. Was a kitchen for the previous business, and so we were turning it into a cafe that's meant for people who can come on their lunch break or want to. They can come and have lunch with their dog, sit back there and just sort of enjoy that time and get that puppy love back so they can go back to work and finish the day. And so that's one of the nice things that some people have taken advantage of already. The problem is sometimes they just don't want to go back. So, but that's a nice thing, and as well as we are right along the side here for the Portland Trails. So it's also an option for someone to come for their lunch hour maybe and walk with their dog and go back through the trail, which is really nice back through there. So it offers, a couple of different things if they want to just come back and
That's
hang
great.
out.
So tell us how you ended up choosing Falmouth as the place to start your business, or what drew you to this community?
Okay. What drew me is I actually have been working down at the Starbucks here for a couple of years, and have gotten to know, I know the area well, but now from the people coming through the drive-thru mostly, it's just, I recognize them now outside of Starbucks, and I have had a few come with their dogs here as well, and so I felt like the community itself, based on the number of dogs that would come through, like people were always having, if they had a dog, it seemed like to me that the dog was with them, and so I thought, well, there's a lot of dogs and this is a great space. Falmouth is a very welcoming community. And then because, which I did not necessarily realize, but Route 1, there's so many people from Cumberland and Yarmouth and that area that drive into work for Portland. So I have a lot of clients now that's where they live.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to draw
Into
from that.
Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's true that Falmouth is just so welcoming, and that's what we've loved in getting to meet people like you, is really those relationships you can build here in the community, which make a lasting impression on them, and then they want to come. So, all right, well, thank you so much for having us here today. It's been fun, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.